I've lived for a few years right near town, and then we moved to our house on Cherry Street, which was at the south end of town. And I lived there until my dad really left and went to the farm. Well, after you got some pictures from high school. This is the orchestra. And I was way back in the back at that time. I was second fiddle of some kind. I was in most of the speedball. I was in the boys' band somewhere way back in the third clarinet section. The House of Representatives, yeah. And I was back here somewhere. Anyway, I was remember that I was on the all-star team for the speedball. I tell everybody I was above average, but I was not outstanding. I had a job. My first job of teaching was in Donaldson, Iowa. It was a small consolidated school. I had the first grade to seventh grade elementary music, classroom music, a high school band, high school chorus, and a class in history. I liked teaching the history class better than anything else. But I had so many strep throats that the doctor said if I didn't stop teaching elementary music, I'd lose my speaking and my singing voice. So I had to stop teaching the elementary music, and I thought I would go and teach history, so I needed hours in history. And somebody suggested I come to William and Mary, because at that time students got passes to the restoration that was just going on. When I was offered a job to teach English in Hampton, I came down here in 1946. And I haven't written much except that I was irritated because the articles on the integration that the newspaper person has had, they're good, and they depict what was going on there. But what they don't show is that in Newport News, we had started to integrate almost 10 years before the case was filed. This one year, Dr. Nelson said that they thought it was sort of foolish that we could have a joint session with everybody. We had the meeting, and everybody was there, black and white. And the real funny thing was that there was a bad rainstorm outside, but we didn't know about it till we get outside. The water was curb to curb, deep. The sewage, the storm system had not taken the water away. Mm-hmm. So water was up to, on me, it was about my mid-calf, and we had to wade back to our cars. And I still remember one of the black people, I don't know who it was, it started out, "Wade in the water, wade in the water, children." And everybody laughed, but it was an indication that there was willingness among mm-hmm. us to work together. By the time it was time for me to retire, things were being done differently. And when there were changes in the way things were handled, I was usually on the committee that was going to make the changes. I could have my input for it. But that particular year, I wasn't called in for any meeting until the chairman of the committee called me in. He said, "This is the way the music program is going to run." Well, he had no idea what was good for the music program. And I knew that if that's the way it was going to be done, I wouldn't want to be a part of it. And so I had already, my good friend, the director of instruction, and I had been figuring out how much we would gain from our retirement. And we finally figured out she retired before I did. If I stayed on another 2 years, it would make $1.75 worth of difference in my pension a month. Mm-hmm. At $1.75, I could get by without that. At 96 years old, how much future do you think I have to plan for? You know?
Yeah.
I wrote a parody on Poe's Raven, and it started out, I didn't know where it was going, I just started it. And it ended up being a commercial for the Lifelong Learning Society. So I'll see if I can find it. In my old chair, twisting, turning, I for venture seeking, yearning, touched a flyer from lifelong learning. Thought I'd o'er its contents pour, ere I ventured to their door. The friend who said this must be fooling knows I've had enough of schooling, knows I've had enough of classes. I've renounced them, nevermore. Here are subjects that they offer. What for my aims do they proffer? Language, politics, and history, fitness, finance, all a mystery. There are titles by the score. I've been told there is no penance if one's not always in attendance, nor are there tests which we abhor. Fees there are to keep them running, but prices really aren't that stunning. Friendships do to keep on finding, all informing and reminding that 'tis worth what we outpour. Through the pages so slowly cruising, aerobics, body fusing, my interest grows. I see computing, something I might try for sure. My friend knew what he was doing, brought me projects worth pursuing. College library, concerts, book club, field trips, lectures, local lore. I see classes here on writing. This is getting more exciting. All these my interest in abiding. I must rise and take the floor. Lifelong learning, evermore. Songs are poetry set to music. So I don't know. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Daddy's gonna buy you a magic sword. And if that's Darth Vader comes to town, your great sword will cut him down. If Darth Vader doesn't fall, Spider-Man will take you up a wall. It's if your feet get stuck in tar, so Batman will take you in his car. And if Batman's engine dies, Superman will take you across the skies. If Superman should lose his way, Lone Ranger's heart will save the day. If Ranger's heart should throw a shoe, you can get rushed off with Scooby-Doo. If Scooby-Doo gets slow and droopy, you better run and hide with Snoopy. All this singing's took my breath. If I don't stop, it will be my death. And if you still lie there and weep, you could just try yourself to sleep.